in action this evening, and this is a round 2 encounter. Very much looking forward to the conclusion alongside the 86 champion of the world. A good evening to Joe Johnson.
Good evening, Alan, and good evening, everybody. Yeah, it should be a good match, this. Two giants of the game. £6 million between them in the sport. And it's tightly contested today. Should be a great match this evening.
Yeah, very much so. As I say, Ken started nicely in this match, bossed it, and then he lost the third frame on the black when he ought to have really won it. And then Marco was able to level up at the interval again. Ken had chances, so he kind of missed the boat early on in this morning's session, Ken, but crafty Ken, as usual, kept himself in the match to, as I say, get to 4-all, and it was a nice blue to black clearance. And holding, of course, a slender lead.
Well, that safety shot caught the middle pocket bump, and it sent that cue ball over the right-hand side of the table, where it's very dangerous to try and get the cue ball back to baulk. So just laying up on this red. Always take a little bit of a risk when you play it full length of the table slow. Cue ball could drift a little way. They've played 14 times before, these two, and Doherty's ahead on the head-to-head. Close. 8-6 is the score between them both. Although the only other time they played in the World Championship, it was Fu that won. He won that one 13-10, and it was littered with big breaks.
Yes, legends they are, aren't they? And they've only played once, actually, in the last 11 years, which is not all that surprising. Ken's not been at the top of the game in that time, but 10 years, actually, since Ken's played at the Crucible itself.
Yeah, didn't really want the kiss on the brown.
6.
And that stopped the cue ball getting back down close to the reds. Just got a little bit too much left-hand side or stun on the cue ball. Yeah, it would mean so much to him, wouldn't it, Alan? You know, to get back there after such a long gap. Although he has played there in the seniors, of course, and will be doing after this event. Good pot.
7.
Would have took some shot to get onto the black from there, but it was nevertheless a good pot.
Yeah, that was kind of the problem this morning, was getting in. Once they got in amongst it, both of them looked fairly comfortable. Went in close. Marco not at his absolute best, far from it. Ken likewise. Doesn't quite have the sharpness at the moment. Marco Fu coming over, commuting from Hong Kong as he does.
Yeah, they take some getting used to, these star tables, and especially with the television lighting. Throws a different light onto the object balls, and it kind of makes it a different potting angle when you're taking pots on, and it does take some getting used to.
Three other tables you can watch live on Discovery Plus if you so choose. We'll keep you posted to the scores and those matches as we go this evening. Oh, there's a terrific pot from Marco Fu. That's more like it.
Yeah, beautiful pot. Played it in such a way, whereas he wasn't leaving anything except the red he was playing on. Nothing easy anyway. And every chance of scoring heavy if he can pot this blue and get onto a red. The black is still potable if we can drop him behind it at some stage. But the blue and pink, freely available. Decided to play a cannon to the reds to hold the cue ball. And he's okay. Choice of reds.
Seven. Thirteen. Fourteen.
He could have played for the blue there, but he wanted to make sure of being able to get back to the reds, and he can do that from one of the baulk colours. I think the pink will go to the left middle, and if it does, he doesn't need to do too much of the cue ball. Just come down to have a look to make sure.
Seventeen.
As I said before, they've played 14 times, so used to each other's game. Although they haven't played each other for going on 5 years now. Both players changed
24.
a little since then.
Referee taking charge there, Louise Kratz, of this session. Yeah, Marco only had one break over 50 in this morning's session, break of 61 in the penultimate frame. So it would be the ideal start tonight for confidence. Can win this frame in one visit.
$31.
Yeah, always a good confidence boost, isn't it, Alan, when you can win a frame at one visit. Trying to get into the zone, as they call it. Seems to be queuing well, though. Got in with a great red, didn't he, into that
37.
corner. Played a good cannon from blue to
38.
reds. Got to finish the job, though.
45.
Yeah, you just sense he's getting into stroke now, Marco. He had a very straightforward win in round 1 of qualifying against Baipat Sirapaporn. He wasn't extended in that match as a contest. Played okay, all things considered, but now he's in the heat of battle. He looks already this evening like he's improved from this afternoon.
52.
And there'll be tougher tests to come. The winner of this will play Hossein Bafai in round 3.
Well, needs another red. And a colour, to be sure. But this
57.
red, and Ken Doherty could only tie. Yeah, nicely played. Played the cannon to the red to leave himself on this red to the right corner. And it's a cracking start, this, for Marco Fu. As I say, got in with a great red.
Yeah, certainly did. 71 will do very nicely. A long red, as Joe said, followed by a smooth 71 break. The perfect start pretty much for Marco Fu to get his evening underway. We're back all square. It's 5 frames apiece. Kicking off tonight against Long Zhehuang, so quite a few close matches. Incidentally, the round 2 will finish tomorrow afternoon. Some of the big hitters will be here at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning for the beginning of round 3.
Well, that's not the best break off from Ken Doherty, making contact with the blue. Marco Fu already got his eye in, so I'd expect him to pop this, even though it's not an easy shot. That's kind of a let-off for Ken Doherty.
Andy Hicks also won the opening frame tonight, so he leads 9-1, just one away from a place in that round 3. Yeah, I wanted a little bit more angle on this red to be able to play the cannon to the red next to the black, which would have then freed the black. I think is a little straighter than he wanted. And didn't really get into the cue ball there. That's not where he wanted to be. Very difficult to get to the next red now.
Oh, he's played that very well. He's on this red to the right corner. And that was an excellent shot from Ken Doherty.
Just check the line. $20.
Yeah, it's one of those where blue and pink will both be on because they can't be touching ball, as we know.
21.
He's played that nicely. I don't know if there's many reds in the open here, Joe. You've got to think he'd probably play into the pack would be the shot.
I know a younger version of Ken would be into the pack here.
Blue ball.
And who knows, he could bring the black into play. There is a red that he could play on, obviously, but the attacking shot was that. Wait. Didn't quite catch them full enough, did he? And that's why he nearly finished up in off.
26.
Very attacking shot, though. As Alan said, you know, he took the opportunity to open the reds up. And that wasn't a bad effort either.
26.
Staying positive. Just awkward queuing with the green where it is. And that has brought the black into play.
He's going to be scattering the reds here. Needs a good cue ball, does Ken. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's why they call him Crafty Ken. Playing the cue ball over to the right side of the table. Covered that red that was near the right corner. And any up-and-coming snooker players would do well to watch these two and see how they play the tactical game. Very clever, both of them. Lots of right-hand side on the cue ball there to check it away from the reds and avoid the middle pocket. Again, played that with a lot of right-hand side on the cue ball to check it away from those two reds. But look where he's pushed two reds. Oh, one over each corner. Obviously the easiest one is the one nearest the pocket. Yeah, played it cushion first to try and get that cue ball out of that area. Kiss on the black though, let's foil that.
Yellow ball. Marco full 1.
Another excellent safety. Again, played with a lot of right-hand side to check that cue ball. Both players trying to cover that red nearest the right corner. Now, is it hard enough? I think he's covered the red over the right corner pocket. A little harder, and he would have been able to see it.
Both trying to outfox one another, which is far from easy, as we know, with these two. Now, does Ken fancy playing the long straight red? It's risky, but it's a shot. Well, back in the day, you'd fancy him all day to knock it in. Maybe having a wander just to prepare himself for it. Let's see. No, he's not playing it.
No, it was a difficult pot, but it was great reward. Also, could have lost the frame had he missed it.
Those last couple of shots from Ken, it's what you call being hard to play against, isn't it? He gives you nothing. You know, it's one of those, if you don't fancy it, don't play it. He clearly didn't.
Yeah, both of them hard players in the safety stakes. Not giving anything away at all. Got to earn everything you get. I remember playing Terry Griffiths back in the day, and well, Terry always had the beating of me, actually, up until I played him in the World Championship. And this one day I said to him, you had the black on the spot and the cue ball's under the cushion and it's just off straight. All he needed to do was drop it in and he'd have been on reds. I said, I can't understand why he didn't play it. He said, I didn't fancy it. And if you don't fancy it...
absolutely.
If you don't fancy it, there's no rule that says you've got to play it, is there? I mean, I always thought that you had to play it. If it was there, you had to play it.
Yeah, because you're kind of brought up and your peer pressure, though, almost there's a bit of peer pressure, isn't there? How can you turn that down, all that stuff? But you can, as you say.
Yeah. Well, as good as he was, Terry Griffiths, and he was a great, he didn't fancy it, so he didn't take it on.
Yeah, he was your epitome of hard player, wasn't he? I played Terry. My first ever Crucible, he got me in the last 16. He beat me 13, 11 or 12 it was, yeah. Only time I've cried ever after a match was that one. And I'm not joking.
Yeah, it hurts, doesn't it? It hurts. The first match I ever saw as an amateur, the first match I ever saw was when Terry beat Alex Higgins 13-12 at the Crucible. And after watching that match, I wanted to turn pro afterwards. After watching it, Terry went on to win the championship. And it was one of those, wasn't it, where you can get inspired by a match, and that certainly inspired me, that match. If ever there were two contrasting players, though, Alex Higgins and Terry Griffiths. Well, this is trouble. He's trying to think of a way out of it. Got to avoid the pink if he's playing a thin safety. Now, maybe there is a chance here. The long red to the right corner. If he's got some kind of an angle on that red to take it back down the table towards the pink and bought colours, it just depends what kind of an angle he's got. Doesn't look like he's got a good one. So this is a shot to nothing. Caught it much too thin.
They've both been grafting their socks off here, haven't they? So can Marco find one? Stop the cue ball short of the bulk cushion. A good chance this if this goes in. Oh, that's what Ken's been waiting for. The mistake.
It was very close, wasn't it? But there's nothing easy left, Alan. Not what I can see. There is a shot on, but take a good pot to poss it.
It's funny as well, Joe, isn't it? When you have an approach in a match where I'm not going to take any risks, the game all of a sudden becomes more difficult, doesn't it? When you get the half chance.
You've got to be positive at this game, and these two are positive. I'm sure if there's something on, they'll take it on. But at the same time, they're very well aware of how good the other player is. And it's 5 each. And neither player wanted to give anything away. Yeah, you're dead right though. Once you decide that you're only going to play absolute percentages, the game gets very difficult. The balls go awkward, and before you know it, you're in this kind of a rut where all you can do is see safety. Well, Ken's had a look to see if he takes this red on, leaves the cue ball on the black cushion, will he leave anything? Now, he might leave a red to the right corner, but I can't see him getting to a colour from it. And again, very crafty that. He's done well to get that cue ball out. Look where the red's gone. So this pink has to go in. Ken took the risk. He knew that red was on, but he thought he couldn't get anywhere from it. Pink spot now available.
So,
Yeah, it's one of those here, you just got to get as straight as you can on green or brown and drop it in with the red waiting. As Joe's mentioned there, it's going to be a little bit of pressure on it. Difficult to see if we can get the cue ball away from the cushion. Just settling, I think, for green to middle.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I'd have played that shot actually, because he's got to get this green now with the red over the pocket. I may have taken that red first, played blue or pink. But if this goes in, it's the right shot he's played. Well, the way he's played that shot, the pink must go to that right middle. Otherwise, he would have been playing that cushion first. Well, I just don't understand that shot he's played. If the pink and blue don't go to that right middle, why did he play it like that? Now, does he stay positive and play the green? Or does he play the safety?
Marco full 12.
Just while this battle's going on, give you an update from one of the outside tables in a sec. It's been quite a turnaround today. They do say that intervals change matches. It certainly has in that Dylan Emery, Oliver Brown match. Dylan Emery led 4-0 this morning. Went to the interval, and since then Oliver Brown has won 6 in a row. So Ollie Brown leading 6-4 over there. Conqueror. of Rhiannon Evans in round 1 was Ollie Brown. And some huge matches in terms of the end of season staying on the tour. And it always happens, obviously, in the World Championship. Aaron Hill is one that's in the mire. He's 62nd on the end of season at the moment, but he's in command of his match. He's 7-3 to the good. Also Graham Dott, he's 61st on the end of season, so he has to win simple. Well, he's won the first frame tonight. He's 6-4 in front against Mustafa Dorgam. Julien Leclerc has got a bit more breathing space. He's 8-2 in front. He's 66 in the end of season, so he has to win also tonight.
Well, that red very nearly went in, but it stayed on the lip. Now can Ken see it? That would have been a bonus had the red gone in the middle. Didn't expect him to miss that. Played it with a lot of right hand side on the cue ball to try and spin it onto the red.
One.
Very nearly finished up. Badly hampered on the brown.
Yeah, that was one of those, wasn't it? A sigh of relief by Marco. Now, excuse me, here. Would you play here, Joe? The red that's on the right side cushion, play for the plant.
Well, that's an option,
With
isn't
the blue
it?
waiting.
Yeah, it's an option. Because it would be difficult to miss that red over the pocket. Any contact with it.
You know, also for the fact that he's a bit behind, he's going to need, maybe or probably need that red.
Yeah. No, it's a good call, but I don't think he's played that. I think he's played to see this red.
Yeah, I mean, that's a strange one, isn't it? To put the brown on the black spot as well congests that area somewhat.
Not sure if he played to hold the spot, you know, but he's just not thinking clear enough for me at the moment, Marco. He's playing as though he's under pressure, which he is, but you got to play this game as though you're not under pressure. Well,
6.
I think we both meant the other red, nearest the cushion. Did we?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was quite straightforward to get on it, and the blue was waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing difficult about it. Obviously, it didn't make a massive deal of difference, but still got to deal with that red.
No, I think that was a good call.
13.
If he does play the brown, it goes back on its own spot. And again, well, maybe the brown doesn't go, but I think I'd have been playing the cannon to the red next to the black there. The brown went.
No problem.
19.
Promoting the red this time, though. Cushion first.
Don't think he's going to play it. Well, he did play it, but wow, he's missed the red.
19.
And that's a little careless, you know. I think he was just taking this for granted. Or maybe too much cannon in his eye, Alan.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. How many times do we see it, isn't it? It's incredible. If he's just potting that coming out for a pink off the spot, it's unmissable, isn't it? or virtually unmissable. Oh, Ken.
Yeah, nerves are playing a part, and you made a good point earlier that when you do start these safety battles and you get that safety mentality in your mind, it's hard to get back into the potting routine sometimes. Well, I think that's what both players have suffered from in this frame.
1.
But another chance for Marco Fu. Still got a couple of difficult reds, not impossible,
7.
but difficult. Good play for the brown here. Finish top side of the brown.
8.
That looks just about right. Played it well. Could have done with being a little bit straighter on the red, just to get that cue ball away from the cushion.
Here's a shot now, Joe. Would you be horrible enough to pot this red, roll the cue ball into the jaws of the pocket that you're potting it, push the brown on the left side cushion and the cue ball near the other corner?
Well, you know, that's a very good shot to play, actually. You know, you've got to be able to think of those type of shots when you're down there in the heat of the moment. But at this moment in time, he'll be thinking about trying to win the frame and potting that red, I would think.
Yeah, he was just too straight, wasn't he? That was really the problem. I mean, it's one of those, again, the peer pressure. Oh, why did you play that shot? But it actually probably was the correct shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
With the scoreboard.
Yep. Getting the brown safe as well. That was a good shot to play.
You know, sometimes we can say, oh, that was really negative, but it's actually
No.
it's not.
No, it's positive. It's trying to win. And the proof is in the pudding here because, yeah, he could play to pot the blue. He could play the snooker again here.
Marco Fu, 15.
Yeah, trying to push the blue safe and get the snooker.
Yeah, certainly not as effective a shot as the one I think we were kind of suggesting. And he's found himself in trouble now, Marco.
Miss Doherty, 4.
Yeah,
Free ball.
a free ball as well. Whether he takes it or not's another thing.
Yellow ball.
Yeah, good positive shot that from Ken Doherty. Nicely on the brown, which will go back onto its own spot. Marco will be pleased he's pushed the blue a little bit safer, but it's not entirely safe.
Yeah, this next shot from colour to yellow is going to be all important.
6.
Yep, not just about getting onto the yellow, it's being able to be on the yellow to get to the green. So I don't want to finish straight on the yellow. Good pot.
14.
Yeah, he would have liked to have been straighter on the green. Now he's got to get the cue ball close to that green pocket to be able to get onto the blue. And this is no easy pot. Just not close enough to the pocket.
21.
So 2 balls each. Well, actually, Marco Fu needs all 3. If he potted the blue and pink, Ken could tie with the black.
Ken Doherty, 21.
It's been a very hard-fought frame, this. Marco willing that blue on towards that boat cushion. Oh, that's a super shot. What a great shot that was on the blue. Played it with right-hand side as well, and he couldn't have played it any better.
Yes, what a blue and a nice pink to follow. Just in the nick of time, Ken Doherty salvages that frame when he was rocking a bit, but he's back in front. Or in front.
From 12. Marco full 2 break.
Off we go then. Frame 12. As we were at the start of the evening, with Ken leading by the odd frame. As usual, 4 frames, then the mid-session interval to come.
Yeah, cue ball got closer to the pocket than he wanted. Can Marco be tempted by this red? Oh, can he be tempted? Great pop to the middle. I think the red next to the black will go, but he's not ideal on it. Wanted to be straighter on the red and it would have been simple just to play for the black. Where it is, he's slightly hampered. I'm not sure on how the cannon would turn out.
7.
And that is not ideal.
Marco
Well,
full
played
7.
it in such a way as he tried to block the pocket had he missed it. And he's accomplished that. Well, it could turn out to be a long safety battle, this, with the black over that left corner.
Yeah, it's one of those, Joe, isn't it? I mean, you don't expect a silly mistake from either player, mind you. Ken pushing a couple of reds into the open there might change things. Good shot. It's always the case with the black over a corner stalemate. Will be in the back of both players' minds. Now here's a half chance for Marco at best. The low red of the three together will pot.
Can he be tempted? These two reds are plant to the black.
Yeah, we have our first winner tonight. Andy Hicks has completed a 10-2 win against Long Jie Huang. A good win that for Andy. And he'll be playing over the weekend in round 3.
things have really opened up. There is a red on to the right corner, but it's very dangerous to take on. Cue ball looks to be going into the reds if he misses it. Oh, he's missed the ball completely. Didn't expect that.
Marco full 4.
It wasn't that thin.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a worry, isn't it, to completely miss it. As you say, it wasn't wafer thin. Now Marco's got to take one on. Yeah, good pot.
1.
And I think you can see the black, so stalemate has ended. And that could have gone on quite a long time, actually, but it should be things back to normal now. I'm not sure if the black will spot, which means it would go down onto the green spot. In actual fact, it does spot,
8.
but tied up for the moment. Well, Marco Fu will want to hit back as quickly as possible. He'll want to go 2 frames behind. And this is a very good chance to do just that. All spots held, so highest available is the green.
16.
I could do with taking that red away from the pink spot. And then if he does pop the pink, he brings it down into the place where he can do damage. Hasn't quite come straight on the red as he wanted. So change of plan.
22.
See, had the pink spot been available, it would have been beneficial, the pink, but it's going to go back onto the green spot.
$29.
Blue looks to be a good ball to take. He's looked at it now. It's all about choice. If he fancied the pink, why not? He just cannot get onto this red as he wanted. And again, now he's going to have to swing the cue ball around 2 cushions.
34.
But better too hard than too soft. If he's a little bit too hard for the blue, he's on the pink. Oh, but don't forget to pop the red.
Marco Fu 34.
Yeah, that's almost the story of the match for Marco Fu. At times he's looking really good, and then a silly mistake, a silly miss from nowhere, really. That is frustrating, because in his pomp, Marco Fu would pretty much never miss something like that. So the door ajar, but Ken, at the moment, let's be honest, he's all at sea. This is a worry.
Yeah, and allowed Marco straight back to the table to try and forget about that easy red he's just missed. But he's not left with anything easy. This red will pass the black into the corner, but there's pressure on it. So, chance to forget all about that red he missed and win the frame at this visit. And that's what this game's all about. When you make a mistake, if you're not punished for it,
8.
you can recover pretty quickly. But if you're punished for it, you can be thinking about that shot for frames to come.
$16. $17.
Yeah, quick glance at the scoreboard. This black will be enough. Another red to make sure, and then can just relax a little.
24. 25. 32. 33. 40. 41. 46.
2 scoring visits then sees Marco Fu lock this match back up. It's all square again. It's 6-all. Ken Matthew Stevens is playing. Ricky Walden, Tip Chaya, and now
Doherty to break.
Anthony McGill, Jordan Brown, Double D, Dominic Dale, amongst others. Lots to look forward to. That's round 3 tomorrow. For now, this is the frame before the mid-session interval. 6-all, and it's a big frame, isn't it? You know, Ken at the moment struggling. Marco, as I say, looks the more likely, certainly, to score. Ken's been a little negative if you were being picky.
Handy little kiss on the brown there, leaving the cue ball glued to the baulk cushion. Caught it too thin. So, a couple of reds he could play. Always difficult when the cue ball's tight to the cushion. Yep, good pot. Cueing well, you know, Marco Fu. Yeah, he missed one easy ball in that last frame, but he didn't make a mistake second time around. Ken just looking on there, thinking, you know, he's got to improve his game. Red just below the pink, the ball is played for. If he does pot the pink, then it may go back onto its spot.
5.
I know they haven't played for going on 5 years, but the last 2 times that they did play, it was Marco Fu that won. Delicate little shot there he's played, but spot on position-wise. Didn't quite come straight enough on the pink to make things simple. But maybe he could screw the pink in and play for that red above the black spot. And also a choice of reds to the left middle. A couple of inches harder and it would have been straightforward. Now, did the cannon work out?
25.
Looks like it did. It was a good shot, that. This is exactly what he played.
26.
Yeah, one single shot doesn't ever define a match. It never will. But the big shot in this match, you can trace it back to actually frame 3, where Ken was 2-0 in front with breaks of 50 and 71. Started lovely, actually.
32.
And he missed the green that he would normally get. And a wee bit of pressure. Marco obliged with the clearance, green to black. And since then, Ken's not been the same player.
33.
Marco looking stronger.
Yeah, you're right, Alan. You can see that so many times in a match where one shot changes things. And it's because it means so much, this World Championship. And it can affect you. You're not ready for the adversity. And yet you should be. And both these players have played long enough to be acclimatised to that kind of thing. But I think the older you get, the harder it is to recover.
39. 40.
Yeah, just overscrewed it slightly. Wanted to be the other side of the pink. And then it would have been straightforward to play for the 2 reds to the left of the pink into the same pocket. Got those reds available to the middle and may have a slight angle to play for the 2 reds by the black spot. Doesn't really want to play cannons if he can do without it. Yeah, it's just the wrong side, isn't he? May have to play for the more difficult red to the middle. Well, as I said before, he didn't really want to play the cannon, but he knew that any contact on them 2 reds would have left him on this red to the middle. So now he's sitting pretty. Made a 71 break in the opening frame of this evening.
64.
He really is a delight to watch when he's in good
60.
touch, isn't he, Marco? Neat and tidy with his cue ball. I just sensed that early on tonight. His game is there, as I said. He just hasn't quite found his
61.
top form yet, but it's in there somewhere, there's no question. So pink, one more red, and he'll be back in front.
Yeah, and he's the one that's getting stronger the longer it goes on.
67.
Made absolutely sure of that red, and now he can relax a little. Highest break of this evening.
75. One.
Well, decided to play for the black. It looks like the black spot's held. Well, the crowd here
90.
would love him to make a century here. He's got that tough red down the cushion. He's going to make it. Big bounce. Oh, just missed the red. Yeah, there's the applause for a good shot. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, pity about the red, no century, but Marco Fu, as we suggested, is looking the more likely at the moment. They'll go to a mid-session interval. Marco Fu back in front then, leading by 7 frames to 6. In this match between Ken Doherty and Marco Fu, Marco has won 3 of the 4 frames this evening to lead 7-6. So off we go now to a finish for a place in round 3. While we were on that break, we had another result. Julien Leclerc, the Belgian beast, has beaten Hayden Pinney comfortably in the end by 10 frames to 3. He'll play Joe O'Connor in the next round. Ken Doherty, nothing he can't handle, nothing he hasn't seen before, but he struggled for the most part so far this evening. So he's got to use all his experience if he's going to eventually prevail in this tight match.
Yeah, sometimes the break can come to help you, can't it? He couldn't be tempted by the long straight red. He knew he was leaving a red to the right corner. So declined to take it on.
Just a reminder, the winner of this match will play Hossein Bafai. Tough assignment for our winner this evening.
How close was that, Alan? That was so close. And the difference is when you get so close, you know, the red stays near the pocket. Look how close this is. He played to miss the red, go around the back of the black. But things just not going Ken's way at the moment.
One.
So, got 3 easy reds before he needs to start thinking about going into the pack. Although he could have left an angle on the black that time round to go into them. With the insurance of the red near the right corner, it would have been a good time to just give them a little nudge. Don't have to split them wide open. Just nudge a few out.
Nine.
Once again, just a little straighter than he wanted if he was going to nudge anything out. Deciding to leave that red that's nearest the right corner. So if he can get an angle this time round to go into them, he's got the insurance of that red over the pocket. Always favour going into them when you know you're bound to be on the red.
17.
So just left with that easy red now.
Two.
Just might have enough angle to give them a nudge. If not, can play for that red nearest the right side cushion. I was about to say not too bad, but cue ball's just run on that a little bit too far.
Thirty-one.
Yeah, definitely looks the stronger of the two at the moment, Marco Fu. Again, Doherty's got to try and
38.
do something. Try and make some magic happen. If he gets a chance to.
39.
So, left an angle on the pink to be able to nudge the reds. And Ken just hoping he doesn't land on one. Well, preferred to play for the loose one.
He's really hitting the ball beautifully now, actually, Marco. This is a big shot. Full face of the apex red, hold the cue ball, hopefully. Beautiful shot.
Oh, nearly flicked the red in, didn't it? I could see it happening as those two reds were coming together. I thought, he's knocked it in here. But managed to stay out. Couldn't have hit them any better. And as Alan said, he is striking the ball well, and he's growing in confidence for my money. The longer he's playing these matches, these long matches, best of 19 matches, he's getting stronger. He's getting more used to the tables, more used to the touch on these tables. Pink spot still unavailable.
$58. $59.
So it looks for all the world that Marco is going to go too clear for the first time in this match. And this is worrying
67.
times now for Ken. He just hasn't played tonight. He's been a little defensive at times, which kind of gives you the clue that he's not absolutely in tune with his own game. Marco has made pretty much most of the running
72.
tonight. Break a 71 to level up at 5-5, a 97 before the interval. 73 and counting.
73.
Yeah, he came close to the century break in the frame before the interval.
$81.
He might just make it here.
$88. $89. $95.
Yes, and left an angle on the black
96.
to be able to either drop in behind that red or try and develop it. Try to develop it, and he's played it superbly.
103.
The 518th century of Marco Fu's long and distinguished career, but he's not done yet. He's absolutely in stroke now. This has been vintage.
$109. $111. $114. 118.
He has been absolutely spot on with his positional play all the way through this break. Never been in trouble.
123. 129.
Beautiful break, a 136 and a generous round of applause. Marco Fu has a cast iron grip on this match now. It seems a kind of nod of the head and appreciation from Ken Doherty. That was classy. He's got lots of classes, Ken. He's going to have to show it now because he's 2 frames down. Is due to fall off the tour with a defeat tonight. Would have to rely on a wild card possibly to get back on the tour. Off we go then. Frame 15.
The red could have gone anywhere once he missed it by that distance. Now Ken left with the red to the right corner, but it's full of danger, this shot. Doesn't look to be a path around the back of the black. So this has to go in. And he's left a red on.
Yeah, not nice to see any player struggling. Certainly Ken, we know the class that he's got. But to repeat again, he missed the green at 2-0 in front this morning. To go 3-0 in front, and he was all over Marco early on. Since then, his game has slowly dwindled. And Marco is getting ever stronger.
Yeah, just a little bit tentative there, I thought.
7.
Doesn't want to see the winning line too early.
Now
if he takes the black, it's going to go down onto the green spot. He won't be too bothered about that with the pink occupying the black spot. Can still score heavy with pinks.
Such a classical style of player Marco Fu is. He's one of those, he can't really overpower opponents or the table itself. But when he's in stroke, his cue ball is magnificent. And he's certainly in stroke at the moment. Last couple of frames, 97, and that superb 136.
23.
And he's one of those players, like all the top players are, And I still regard Marco as one of them, even though his ranking doesn't say that. Some rankings are false, as is certainly one of them. He can go on these scoring bursts and not miss for 4, 5, 6 frames, no problem. That's a lovely shot too, just to promote another couple of reds.
Yeah, I like that type of shot, Alan, because I often say you don't have to whack them open. Just make sure you're on this red to the right corner, and he's knocked another couple of reds open, and you know it's all a break building process. Some players like to go, like Judd Trump, like to go into them and spread them far and wide. And other ones just like to be controlled. And that was a controlled split.
36.
Going to have to do it again at some stage if he's going to win the frame at this visit. But by that stage, he should be 50-ish in front.
37.
Still got a couple of reds he could play for. In fact, 3 reds if you take the one by the yellow.
Three. Four.
Well, the pack would be ideal to take the blue from. But it looks like he's going to have to play for the pink to go into them.
49.
He could play for the red down by the yellow and then play for the blue. This is a nice pack to go into from the blue.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shot, because that red, where it is, it's so easy to get a nice angle, isn't it, on bulk colour or blue from it. He's lost the cue ball just a fraction.
Yeah, can make a difference, but the way that he's playing now,
55.
I expect him to have a nice angle on the blue here. He could play for the yellow or black, but the blue's a good ball to go into them from, and he's deduced that as well, I think.
56.
Straighter than he wanted. May have to go into them off 2 cushions. He might be able to do it off 1. Didn't have the ideal angle on the blue. So 61 points. The lead. And doesn't appear as though he can push a red safe.
Magofu, 61.
Well, this is an absolutely massive frame for Ken Doherty. He desperately needs to win this one. Still 75 left on the table, and this is a big shot to play. I'm surprised he's playing this, actually. He doesn't need to play this, but he's cueing so well, isn't he?
1.
The pink will leave Ken Doherty needing snookers if he takes it on.
Yeah, that one shot's the kind of the difference between both players this evening. Even here, Marco taking this on. All of a sudden he fancies the job. Not this time, but what's Ken got left? That's the question. because he's got lots to do here if he's even going to get back into the frame.
Yeah, he probably thought he's got 2 safe reds. It's worthwhile taking the pink on and playing for a red. I mean, there was a case there for just potting a pink and taking the cue ball down towards the blue spot and not leave a red on if he missed it.
1.
It's now or never.
Yeah, he's got very little to play with here in terms of points. 55 behind, so he's got 3 points to play with, really. That's the way we would term it. With 59 on the table, which equates to a black and 3 pinks off these last 4 reds. I know that, but that's what he's faced with.
8.
Now, does he decide to split the reds there or just drop him behind it? It's dropping behind it, and that's just about where he wants to be.
15.
That was a beautiful shot, wasn't it? Because he looks to have the ideal angle to drop in behind the red. Now, deciding to lift it and played it beautifully. But the only thing, isn't it, is that he's not going to be playing for black off this shred. I don't think he's got the angle.
I think he's got to play for the black here. Get the black back on its spot. That makes the red behind the black spot easier. But as you say, it doesn't look like he's got the angle to play for the black. So he's going to need a black
22.
off this last red. He doesn't have to play the pot on this red. He could leave an angle on it to send the red down the table and leave the cue ball where the red is. And that's what he's decided to play. Every chance of getting the snooker here.
28.
Just got to miss the yellow with the red.
Ken Doherty, 28.
Yeah, okay, a decent shot. Marco can see the red, I think. So he's a bit unfortunate there, Ken.
Yeah, I thought so too. Right through the gap. What a steal this would be if he could manage to win this frame. Ken Doherty. He just had enough left-hand side on the cue ball. He needs a big bounce. Well, it's not a gimme, this red. What a big shot this is. A 3-frame difference shot, this red, this shot. Well, didn't play it because he knew the significance of missing the pot and leaving the red on. Can he be tempted this time? Once again, the snooker is as good as the pot. Just the red needed. And then it goes. Ooh, very nearly the green as well.
Yeah, that feels like a big moment now in this match. Marco knows that if he sinks this blue, the frame is done and dusted for sure, and it is now. So Marco Fu is going to lead 9-6 with a possible 4 frames to play. What does Ken Doherty have left? That's the question, because he hasn't had his own game tonight with him. Marco Fu's played superbly. There was a match in this year's championship qualifying where Ross Muir from Scotland did win 10-9 from 9-6 behind, but it's a big ask, and confirmation. Marco Fu is 1 away from victory. He leads Ken Doherty 9 frames to 6.
Marco Fu to break.
Frame 16.
Yes, and he's left a red onto the right corner, but these reds now are so tough and important. And no choice but to go for them. Oh, and well, it could have been worse, the kiss. Although there is a red to the right corner. Stroked that in beautifully. Tough shots, those. Now, the cannon here should work well for him. So I'm just going to put all his concentration into the pot, and that's worked out nicely.
8.
Nice angle on the black to get to the next red, and he's got choice of 3 to play for. Not afraid of leaving distance between the cue ball and object ball. Just made sure he's got the angle to get to the next red. A lot of players would have tried to get closer to the black there. But that's how confident he's feeling at the moment.
24. 25.
Would be nice to finish on a maximum.
Yeah, wouldn't it just, but I don't know if this is the time, is it? To be thinking, especially with a red up table, but I take your point, Joe.
Yeah, he's obviously he's got to make sure of the frame first.
32.
All important.
Yeah, he's had 5 maxims. First ever maximum Marco was against Ken Doherty, actually.
33.
But that's for another day. Those kind of heroics, it's all about getting the job done. It's one of those here, you'd love to play the black here, wouldn't you? Because you're guaranteed position. But the pot's tougher than the blue. But he's in such good stroke that he obviously fancies it. This is the key shot. If this goes in, the way he's playing, you'd fancy him to win the match here and now. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, he tried to block the pocket if he missed the black, but
40.
he's back on the red to be able to get to the black. And again, he doesn't have to play for the black here. He could play down for the blue. Winning the frame, all important. And match. Still got another red he could play for. Looking at the possibility of a plant to the right corner. He couldn't have played that one much better. When he plays this, he might be able to touch another one out. My word, it's starting to look on. Doherty's just had one shot. He had a chance at the red to the right corner off of Marco Fu's break-off. And he may not get another one.
Yeah, credit to Marco for having a go at this. Now, the next red disappearing will pretty much seal the match. And it looks a formality now. What a performance this has been from Marco Fu.
72.
Match ball. No problem.
73.
And now he can fully concentrate on the attempt at the 1475 maximums in his career.
Well, not ideal, but
80.
he can still get to the black.
81.
Beautiful. Beautiful shot.
We did say he can go on scoring bursts. He saved the best till last in this match. I mean, the last three frames, 97, 136, 61, and this. And counting. But how does he deal with
89.
the two reds up table? That's the question.
Go past it.
96.
This and the colour for the second century of the evening. Could have been three, actually.
97.
He missed the red down the cushion, didn't he, when he dropped in behind it on 97. Well played. Well played now. A hard shot.
104.
Yeah, I think you had this shot, Joe, in your armoury back in the day. Can Marco get the cue ball working? Oh, what a pity. But Marco Fu, what a performance, and a warm handshake from Ken Doherty. That's nice to see. Let's hope it's not the last we see of Ken Doherty in the World Championship that he's been playing in since 1990. But the evening belongs to Marco Fu. He is back because that was an awesome performance. He goes on to play Hossein Vafai, who he beat incidentally 7 or 8 months ago in the Wuhan Open. A nice acknowledgement there of the smattering of audience there in the Sheffield Institute of Sport.